What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Anthony, Long Island Fish Guy here. We lost some fish. If you've been following my channel here, we do actually have Camellinus parasites yet again, unfortunately, downstairs here in this fish room. Well, first time I got it was actually at my parents' house. First time ever getting it here, and hopefully the only time getting it here. The 29-gallon aquarium, which is right over here, that tank had Camellinus worms, and also that really cloudy 40-gallon breeder over there also had it as well. If you guys do like this video, be sure to like the video, and if you're not subscribed to my channel already, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any other content like this. To start off the treatment, what I did was I was using fenbendazole. Fenbendazole is a type of dewormer, we basically use in fish. It'll kill parasites, various different types of parasites. It shouldn't kill all parasites, really. I was using a medicated food that came pre-made in my 29-gallon tank, but in my 40-gallon breeder, I was treating the water directly. Fenbendazole does not work well, doesn't mix well with the water. So that's why I wanted to kind of test out two different methods to see what happens. Keep in mind, I had a Bolivian ram in my 29-gallon tank that visibly had Camellinus worms in it. If you didn't watch my last video, Camellinus worms is basically a very deadly parasite where you have red worms kind of coming out of their vents. That's when you kind of know that you confirmed have it, but it could be up to 3 weeks to know that if a fish has it. They could have it for 3 weeks and you don't even know it. So that Bolivian ram had it in my 29-gallon tank, and in my 40-gallon breeder, one of my Geophagus balzani actually had it. So I definitely knew for a fact that 2 of these tanks had it, and I wanted to see which method would be the best when using fenbendazole. Unfortunately, neither tank really had any effect on it. Medicated foods did nothing for the 29-gallon. All the fish were eating the medicated foods, and treating the water didn't work at all in the 40-gallon breeder. Now, I'm not going to be going over how, basically to treat yet. I will be coming out with a part 2, basically, to how to treat for Camellinus worms. I have that old video that I made where I used fenbendazole. It didn't work for me. I basically had to euthanize all the fish that were in that 29-gallon tank, the old tank. So I was kind of not expecting a lot from the fenbendazole this time around too. After this experience I do have, I want to kind of make sure I give you guys the right information to treat this stuff. So that's why I'm going to be coming out with a new care on how to do it, because I do believe I found the right cure. So be sure you guys do watch the end of this video so you guys do actually know what's happened, because there is some bad news, but also some good news. So fenbendazole doesn't really dissolve that well in water. I put basically the fenbendazole in this, the right amount, and I treated it, and it didn't work. So what I did was I purchased levamisole. Levamisole is basically the It's the other medication that people get when treating Camellinus worms. It is actually a cattle and goat dewormer. I literally bought something off of Amazon. I'll put a link in the description below for what I bought. That worked amazingly. It really has. But before that, what happened was, before I get into the levamisole, I actually lost 2 German rams inside of my 29-gallon tank, and that's it so far. I say so far because who knows. I do believe the German rams were the ones to actually get me the parasite, and it kind of brought the parasite in. So right now, if you remember guys, this right here is the Bolivian ram that actually had the red parasites coming out of it. These are the German rams that I got. Other than the 2 that have died, these 3 are doing pretty good. The other ones that died actually did not have any sort of worms or anything kind of coming out of it, so it was a little bit surprising to see that 2 of them died, other than the one that we did see in the video that I had. But you guys can see I removed all of the substrate from this aquarium, and it's basically almost it's like a hybrid bare bottom, but there's basically no substrate because the Camellinus worms can really kind of burrow in there and hide for the eggs. The other tank here is the 40-gallon breeder. Now I think that I'm having like a bacterial bloom. Some people told me that levamisole will actually kind of throw off your biological filtration. There's no ammonia spike going on in here, but there is a lot of cloudiness and such. So if there might be a bacterial bloom going on in here, which is, I feel like, kind of normal for the actual amount of treatment and such that I have to put this tank through. So, but the affected fish, the fish are very skittish right now. These fish in this tank always get very skittish if I walk over here pretty quickly, which I just did. This right here, this Balzani, was actually the one that was affected. It actually also got hole in the head disease during this time period as well. And the hole in the head disease is actually already kind of getting better. So definitely the Camallanus worms probably jump-started the hole in the head disease. It definitely was probably the reason why it actually even happened in the first place. Now what I'm also doing to kind of make sure that no other fish get sick or have had it, I monitored these tanks for quite some time now, probably about 2 weeks, just to make sure I was watching it like a hawk, just to make sure I didn't see those red worms kind of coming out of their vents, coming out of their butts. I didn't see anything. Luckily, I didn't see anything. I did bleach everything. Every single one of these tanks since the Camellinus hit has had its own bucket, has had its own siphon. So I've been very cautious in regards to cross-contamination. I do believe the reason why the 40-gallon breeder even got it was because of cross-contamination. This 29-gallon aquarium used to be over here, and this 40-gallon breeder used to be over here. Right now, that's just a table with a bunch of stuff on it, because that is where the 220-gallon aquarium is gonna go. Right there in the corner, and that is, we're getting some pretty good updates on this, guys. So the 220 is coming very, like literally, I'm not even exaggerating, very, very soon. It's gonna be an awesome tank, guys. If you're not subscribed, I'm telling you, you're gonna want to subscribe so you guys don't miss any of that content. But basically, the stages of what I'm doing right now for the Camellinus worms, everything's got hit with a levamisole, and getting a lot of really great progress there. And the reason why I also don't like really levamisole is because levamisole doesn't actually kill the parasites, it paralyzes them. Like one of my friends told me who has fish tanks, is a paralyzed parasite is just as good as a dead parasite. That's why I never really liked them, the levamisole aspect years ago, and then also to start this time around. But since I didn't see the fenbendazole really working out, I knew I needed to try out the levamisole, and so far so good. Also something to kind of worry about a little bit when treating for Camellinus is that they really burrow in deep and kind of bite into the intestinal lining inside the fish. So it's important to also treat for secondary like bacterial or fungal infections that could actually happen inside, which you won't see. So typically after the levamisole, I'm also currently right now, I'm starting a 7-day treatment of Paragard. So all of these tanks, all like 250, 300 gallons that are down here right now, they're all getting treated with Paragard 2 to ensure that there's no sort of death effect that happens or any sort of internal bacterial infections happen for these fish, because that can happen. It happened a lot 2 years ago, and I don't want that to happen right now. So guys, overall we have some bad updates and some good updates. Overall, I think I'm really I kind of like what's going on. I don't actually like it because we lost 2 fish, and I also don't want to be managing any of this Camellinus at all. But at the same time, we're seeing progress. We're moving towards the right direction when it comes to actually eradicating these parasites. The next tanks that will actually have treatment in like the next week or two is this 29-gallon and then the 40-gallon breeder. And then about a week or two after that is going to be the rest of all the other tanks doing their second treatment of levamisole. After that, we're good. We're going to be moving a lot of different aquariums around again. I just moved a lot of these aquariums. Literally every single tank here has moved recently except for this 125. This 125 was brought here and it hasn't moved here, and it ain't moving. But we're going to be moving, once the 210 gets here, or the 220, we're going to be moving around a lot of tanks yet again. We're going to be shutting down tanks, moving tanks. But after that, it's it. We're done for a while, until something bigger comes along. But guys, that's going to be it for this video. So if you guys did like this video, be sure to subscribe. Check out some of the other content here on my channel. Ding that notification bell if you already subscribed. Most importantly, don't forget to fish on.